Hey everyone, it's Orange. Welcome to Path to Decency, episode 52. The summons we have on the menu today are 20 mystical scrolls, 1 wind scroll from the world boss, and 1 scroll of light and darkness from the monthly calendar reward. Is today the day for another Nat 5 or good light dark Nat 4? I think so, but we will have to see what Com2Us thinks. The last time that I saw you guys was 1 week and 2 days ago. So let's go ahead and talk about everything that happened on my account in that time frame. The first thing that I did was skill up my Rune. In the last episode, during the summons, I summoned 2 Wind Epikeon Priests and a Dark Epikeon Priest. I already have a Dark one in storage. The Dark one is non-farmable. I like to keep one of every non-farmable light-dark monster just because they are so rare to get, even the 3 stars. Basalt, I don't even have one right now, so I keep one of every of those because you never know what's going to happen, if they're going to get buffed or something like that, or if they'll come into meta. Storage space I haven't been having any problems with, so I'm okay with having them in storage. So since I already had one, I was comfortable with feeding the one that I got last episode to my Rune. So two of the 3 skill ups that I put on her went into her shield. So right now her shield is fully maxed, and then the other skill up went into her heal. So her heal just needs 2 more to be maxed out, and then her first skill needs 4 more. I don't care about the first skill at all though, so once her heal is maxed, I'm going to start working on skilling up my other Rune in storage, just so I have the option open to me to build a double Rune stall defense to use during the last 10 minutes or so of rush hour if I ever wanted to use that. I think it can be very strong and very intimidating to see just because it takes so long to clear, and Rune is still very good in the meta right now. And especially, I've been hearing some people gossip, I've been hearing some rumors that the upcoming Hall of Heroes for the special one for Summoners War's birthday anniversary, you know how Com2Us does a special one every year? I've been hearing people say that it might be Diaz. If it is Diaz, I think Diaz double Rune Freya is extremely intimidating to see during the last 10 minutes. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to not want to fight that at all, so even if it's not Diaz, I mean, you guys know Com2Us, they may not make it Diaz. I think they're fine with not making it Diaz because people still have options for R5 for resist leaders, like Tessarian is a really good farmable option instead of Diaz. So I wouldn't get your hopes up. I mean, Diaz would be super nice, but you never know what's going to happen. So that Rune defense I have mentioned to you guys before, I had heard a few things about it getting Guardian 3 kind of recently. I don't have any connections to high-ranking players to know what's been going on from week to week, and I don't stalk people that hard to catch up and know what's going on in Guardian 3 or even Guardian 2, really. So, but I did hear that, I saw actually that Chuffles got Guardian 3 I think like a month ago or something like that, maybe 2 months ago, with Fire Lich double Rune Freya for his arena defense. And I also heard that someone got it with Diaz double Rune Freya and Chloe double Rune Freya. I don't know who got it, that's just what I heard. I think X Dragon X was the dude who got it with one of those, maybe the Chloe one, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, I feel like it can be strong, and I do want to test it out because I've been struggling quite hard in arena recently, and I'm down to test different things out. So yeah, I think it has a few pros that the double Fire Mummy one doesn't have, and it also has a few cons, but I'd be totally down to test it out. So that's what's going on with my arenas right now. Next on the list, let's go over how Guild Wars went. Last week we finished Guardian 2, finally something other than Guardian 1, so that was awesome. Rank 99, we barely made it, but we made it. So that was Guild Wars. We've just been doing the same thing, nothing new to update aside from the ranking that we got. After that, Arena happened because that was on Saturday. Then Sunday, I finished Conquer 3 again. I told you guys I've been struggling. I think it went better though. This week was the week that I tested out having my first lushen hit very soft. So my first moving lushen hits for about, I think 7k per card, maybe a little bit more. Around 7k per card. And then I think the second one's hitting maybe like 9.5k. I haven't exactly looked at it. But this past weekend, what I tried to do was be really conservative and really safe with my wings. So if anything looked like a risk at all, I would skip it and be more patient. And what I was noticing was that I couldn't really hit very much at all during rush hour. And I haven't done a rush video because I've been doing poorly, and also it would take a lot of effort to do them because every single week since I got Guardian 1, even when I got Guardian 1, I've put a ton of effort into trying to get Guardian 1 again, and I basically rushed during the whole hour, and even earlier on in the day last week, I did 3 refills to try to keep my rank pretty high, just so lower ranked people wouldn't have me on their list. And it's really hard to break down all that information, like a full hour of rushing, break it down, digest it. So I've just opted to not do a rush commentary, but I feel like I've been making progress regardless of not completely analyzing every little detail of how my rushes are going. So one important detail that I was noticing was that my midweek success rate was higher than it was before. I think for the past couple weeks, my midweek success rate has been like 83% or something, and last week it was up in the 90s. Right now we're at 94%, 93%, or actually right now, last week it was 93%, and then this week it's 94%. So I'm happy with that. I am seeing progress, but like I said, I couldn't find too many things to hit, so I'm thinking about expanding my AOs, and I'm thinking about building a cleave team now. Right now, my cleave, actually we'll talk about that later, but I'm thinking about I'll go into more detail later. I'm thinking about building Julie and then fire homunculus because I don't have a good fire damage dealer, because there's a lot of defenses out there that are really fire heavy, and for fire heavy defenses you want to bring water damage dealers or fire damage dealers. So I think I'm going to need to farm the fire homunculus. I'm going to farm the water one and then probably reskill it to put points into fire, because for the fire team or whatever, I don't have good AoE water nukers for the fire rift beast. So Julie, fire homunculus, Lagmaron, or Amir, I think those are pretty much my only options right now. So I'm looking at doing that. Still kind of thinking about it though. So I just kind of noticed there wasn't too much that I could hit, and even though I was trying to be more conservative and safe with my offenses, I believe my victory rate was still only in the 80%, somewhere around there. I will have these statistics on the screen for you guys to check out, because I had a screenshot from the beginning of rush hour, and then after rush finished, I saw how many attacks I did and stuff. So that was kind of concerning. Like, I don't know what's going wrong. One of these days I need to get around to doing it, to digesting my rushes, because during rush, like I said, I do so many attacks. It's like intimidating to be like, let's sit down, go through this and see what went wrong, because it's just so long. But maybe you guys will have to push me. That's what's happened a lot. Some of you guys are like, you mention things and I'm like, oh, I should go research that, and then I end up getting better at the game because of you guys. So maybe I'll try to motivate myself to do that this weekend, no matter how I finish, if it's Conqueror 3, if it's Guardian 1, whatever. I don't know. One thing that I did last week was that I set my fire mummies and my fire mummies, Freya and Rena, for basically the whole hour, I think, and I don't think that went very well. I'm actually working on my midweek defense today, because today is free rune removal, and I'm hoping that I can rune it up a little bit better. I believe I'm going to go back to this defense, the one that Sean B recommended me, and I'm hoping that I can nerf my Freya's HP down enough so that she dies and stuff, because I think the success rate midweek for this one was about 25%, and the other one that I was using, the one that I just showed, the success rate midweek for that one has only been like 15% or something. We can actually check it out right now. Current rank 23%. Actually, that's really good. I think that's good. But yeah, I don't know. One thing that I've been struggling with though is that midweek, my Lushens will win against some things that during rush hour I should be avoiding just because of rune quality, because midweek I always get knocked down really low, and I haven't really been able to come up with a good midweek defense that I think is strong. I don't know, maybe it's just rune quality, maybe I need to get some nemesis runes or something like that. It's a constant work in progress, but hopefully my midweek defense might be able to do a little bit better after today, after free rune removal. So we'll see about that. And then we'll see about this weekend. This weekend, I'm not going to run a cleave team. I'm going to run the same thing. So right now, my offenses that I'm using are my double Lushens. That's my main one. And then I also use this one quite a bit, the Shimate. I did 6-star Shimate. We will talk about that slightly a little bit later. Just for him to do more damage to soften things up for me to use him with that team. And then, let's see, I have this team with the double Lushen. I can talk about this one now, actually. So I wanted to give a shout out to Claytano, actually. He has been trying to get Guardian 1, I think for 3 weeks now, maybe. Pretty sure it's 3, with no Nat 5s on AD or AO. He's using farmable ones though. He's using Veramos, and he's using some light dark Nat 4s, but they do have replacements. He actually got Guardian 1 this past weekend. I haven't gotten around to watching his video yet, but I watched his video from 2 weeks ago. That video I think was super informative. He talked about some small things that you guys might not realize that go into using double Lushen, and for Arena in general. He kind of talked about like positioning himself properly for rush hour to start and stuff, and his strategy for that. So I will link both those videos down below for you guys. Like I said, I watched the first one, and last week I did change up my strategy to have my first moving Lushen hit very tiny damage, and his Lushens were actually doing the same thing. So I had like 5 days of practice before I saw his video, and when I was watching his video, he was actually identifying teams to hit the way I was. So I was like, that's really cool because he's skipping teams that I would skip, and he's hitting teams that I would hit with my Lushens. And I also thought that it was awesome that he built his Lushens the same way that I built mine. Like, I don't think he saw me and he was like, I'm gonna build them like her. I think he just did it on his own. But that was pretty cool to see that, you know, a top ranking player identified that that was the way to go with the Lushens build. So like I said, I'll have to watch his second video to see if there's anything that I didn't learn from the first one in that one. And he did get Guardian 1 with them. So the monster that he was using, the light monster for offense, was the light lich, but you can replace that with Shimate. The Light Lich has a 24% speed leader, or you can use the Water Succubus. She also has a 24% speed leader, and he used Figaro on AD, but he was saying Figaro is really not that good, and you can use other stuff. So that was pretty cool. He does have very good runes, but he was just kind of demonstrating how it's doable with runes. But I guess that's actually kind of scary because I don't know how good of runes he gave to those monsters, if those were like his best runes, and he wasn't able to get it the first week. But he did mention something about Rune and Freya, I think. So I think he was saying that those monsters are really strong, but he didn't want to use them just to give himself like a challenge. So check out those videos. I will link them down below. In his first rush video, the one that I watched, he actually used this. I've been using this one right here with Megan and single Lushen, but actually if you do the math on it, this offense has higher damage output, so you can use this one against non-nemesis monsters, but against nemesis monsters, you might want to use, whatever. I'm probably going to use this one because my Shimate really doesn't do that much damage, especially because there's no defense break on the enemies, so he can AoE and soften things up for my Lushen to clean them up. So yeah, that was something that I learned, that this has higher damage output, so that was pretty cool. Okay. So this weekend, I'm just going to use all these offenses that you see right here. I might try bruisering some people during rush hour. I'm not really sure. That might be a thing. One of my guild members was actually mentioning how he uses a bruiser team during rush hour to get Guardian 1. So I might have to ask him about that to like see what his strategy is and stuff. He was saying that he was actually typing in guild chat, Denbo. Shoutouts to Denbo. He was saying that he uses, he says it up here somewhere. I was creeping, guys. Right here. Okay, so it's Vero, Theo, Chisoon, Bella, I think. And he's talking about how Bella can defense break things, and then Theo goes in and does damage. So that was pretty cool. Okay, yeah, so this week's rush, I don't know, motivate me, guys. Tell me to do it if you guys want to see it. The rush commentary. But even then I might feel pressured and rush might go terribly just how it's gone, and then maybe I won't want to do it. So don't pressure me, guys. Okay, whatever. Next on the list, I upgraded my wind building to level 9 and eventually to level 10. So here is the fully maxed out wind building, and all my glory shops are almost done. Next, I'm most likely going to do the water sanctuary, I think, all the way till 10, because I think I have more water monsters than I do fire. Right now, I think my only fire damage dealer is Hua, but for water, I have Theomars, Shaolin, I think I just have more water ones, Julie, but I don't use Julie right now, so pretty sure I'm doing the water one. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, okay, so that's Glory Shop. Next, I upgraded my Flag of Hope, which is a guild shop building. So I made a big purchase within the last week, which is the HP building. So yeah, that's that. I still really haven't decided if I'm going to, how I'm going to do these, because everything is so good, besides maybe defense. I don't really know how strong defense is. I know it's strong compared to HP, but I feel like attackers can utilize HP a little bit more than they can utilize defense. I don't know though. I was actually watching DJ KJK's, I think I was watching some of his videos within the last week, and it looked like he was upgrading all of his buildings evenly, so I might have to, all of his guild shop buildings, so I might have to look into that to figure out what I'm doing, but it's probably going to take a while until I have enough points to buy another building, so I have time to figure that out. And I'm still buying stones for Orion. He's coming up here in 2 weeks, or a week actually, because it's about to reset. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, next on the list, Comtuous released their patch where the unicorns came out, and they also released an interesting thing where I think if you summon 5 or 6 Ifrits or something, and then you get like a free summon. I don't know how it worked, but I accidentally redeemed my free summon, so I was kind of pressured into summoning one, and I wasn't sure which one to go with. Up to this point, I've been feeding all of my Ifrits to my Theomars to skill him up, so I haven't been keeping any duplicates. But now I'm like paranoid for some reason. I don't know. So the one that I went with was Tessarian because I feel like you can use a duplicate of him more than you can use the other ones. I could be wrong though, like this was just my reasoning. So for Tessarian, you can build a tanky Tessarian for Guild Wars against like Camillas and stuff, because having a damage dealer Tessarian might not be the best against Camillas. You can build a damage dealer Tessarian for things like against like Sierras, and there are like some things, there are some situations where I've seen in Guild Wars where I'm like, hey, a damage dealer Tessarian would be good for this fight, or he wouldn't, or whatever. So I don't know if people actually do that if they have 2 Tessarians, but I just kind of thought like, maybe he's the one to go with. And also for R5, maybe you can have 1 damage dealer Tessarian for R5 and then like a hybrid tank one. I don't know, I just haven't fed him yet because I don't know if I want to skill up my Tessarian. Right now, my original Tessarian and my original Amir have no skill ups on them. My Theo is fully skilled up, so I'm just kind of keeping him there. My logic is really flawed because I don't know. But yeah, so I should have probably just left that unredeemed because it was over here, I think, in the challenges, and it was kind of annoying me that it was there. So yeah, that's that thing. Next on the list, I Devilmonned my Shaolin because I had been working on farming the rifts, and I had been noticing having skill ups on her helps, or it would have helped, and I use her on my R5 team, and I also creeped around on some arena people's islands or whatever, so I went over here and I was looking at people, and everyone had Shaolin skill ups that I looked at, so I decided to go through with some Devilmon on her. I know there is a fusible thing over here for her, so I'm probably going to look at fusing some of these if I can, just to help out with skill ups on her. So I went ahead with that. I'm hoping after this free rune removal that I can have consistent S teams on all of the rifts, which I will show you guys in a minute. So that's Shaolin, and was there something else I was going to say? Yeah, okay, this is what I was going to say. So my Devilmon right now, I think I only have 4 left. Yeah, just 4. So I'm thinking about skilling up my homunculus, but it's still going to be a while until I do that. So I was okay with skilling Shaolin up because I'm a pretty patient person, so I'm okay with that, waiting around or whatever, or not having my homunculus immediately ready. So yeah. I also kind of don't think it's a really good idea to do things to make hasty decisions, but sometimes hasty decisions end up working out. So that was Shaolin stuff. Let's see. I did 2 EXP boosters in the last week because we have this event going on. It's a really strange event called Train Your Monster, Time to Get Stronger, like whatever that means. I don't know, Koreans and their way of phrasing things. So yeah, this strange event, I did the EXP booster from the monthly reward, and what I did with that one was I pretty much just got rid of all of my Rainbow Mon. So in storage, I had like so many Rainbow Mon, so many 4-star Rainbow Mon, and I turned all of those into fodder and stuff. So I did a 12-hour booster. I don't remember how long I did of the first one, but I did one. And then later on, I did another booster. I 6-starred my Shimate, just like I kind of mentioned earlier, basically just to make him do slightly more damage to help kind of guarantee some wins. Whoa, how does he have so much crit damage? I don't think I've ever had a monster over 200% crit damage. For some reason, he has a lot. Maybe because his crit rate is so low or something. And his attack is kind of low. Okay, well, yeah. So, yeah, just for speed teams to make sure he softens things up enough for my other monsters to finish them off. We can actually fight this one. This one is not that scary, actually. Actually, maybe it is, because the Varad can be really tanky, and then he can freeze my ass like 100 times. I probably should skip this one during Rush. But yeah, you can see sometimes it goes well. This is what's happening midweek. Midweek, sometimes I get fights like this, and I'm like, hey, I can fight that during Rush. And then during Rush, it's like, no, you can't. You know, when I'm higher ranked or whatever. So yeah. So Shimate 6-star, kind of just for fun. I'm probably going to 6-star something else this week just to finish out that event and get the mysticals, just because I have stuff to do. I don't have the runes for it. I'm kind of at the point in time where I have 6 stars and I don't have runes for them. So I'm thinking about either probably doing Tark. I think the homunculus might be the highest one on my priority list, but I've heard some terror stories about people who use cleave teams and their monsters like missing and stuff. But maybe I just need to test it out myself and see for myself what's going on. Pretty sure my double lusens are going to be my main offense because they're more reliable. That's what I've heard. And then cleave teams, and then the cleave team will be my secondary defense. So actually, and then also I have like Amir and Hua Dam, but I'm pretty sure my 2 highest priority ones are going to be the homunculus or Tark. Probably homunculus, to be honest. And I will switch him over to the fire one eventually, whenever I finish maxing him out from the water one, because I have an easier time doing the water beast. We'll talk about that in a second. So first, let's do like a little fun exercise thing. I will actually put this up on the screen for you guys, but one thing that I did and that some people recommended to me, I think one of my guild members above us recommended this to me, and some other people too. This is like a really common sort of tactic. What I did was I watched part of my rush hour video, and I was also just going through midweek and looking at people's defenses around like wherever I am and seeing what they had, and I was trying to pick out how many defenses are out there that I can cleave with something like Soha. She's already 6 stars, so that would be probably my best choice over Aquila, especially because Soha, well, I think Soha does quite a bit of damage with her AoE thing, and there's a lot of fire stuff out there. And also with buff removal, even if she glances, buff removal goes through glancing. So basically, if Soha has 85% accuracy, there's only a 15% chance that that monster will resist if it has 100% resistance. So pretty sure I'm going to be doing Soha and then Galleon. So Soha, Galleon, and then 2 damage dealers, Julie, Fire Homunculus, Amir, or Lagmaron. I think Lagmaron should work because he has a lot of utility on his 3rd, even though he probably doesn't do enough damage as Amir, or as much damage as Amir. He might actually do more because on my team I may not have that many harmful effects. But yeah, Lagmaron, right here, this skill, baby. I have a feeling that he should work well on a cleave, but maybe I'm wrong because of his multiplier. I don't know. So yeah, Soha, I think I will need to cleanse some stuff. And I can also use, if the other team doesn't have any sort of buffs or immunity, I can probably bring Ganymede or maybe even 3 damage dealers like Galleon and then Lagmaron / Amir, Julie, Fire Homunculus, I don't know. So here are the teams that I saw so far that I can cleave, and I just thought that that was kind of a fun little exercise to do. But I don't know. If you guys have any recommendations or any opinions on cleave teams, let me know. If you are like really scared of them or whatever, I don't know. Let me know. So we'll see about that. Okay, next on the list, I bought another daily pack 1. So I always update that information for you guys on my YouTube about section. Find the paste bin link for that if you want to see how much I've spent. So I bought big spender, guys, $5 daily pack 1. Okay, next on the list, I upgraded my wind building to level 10. I already talked about that. And then homunculus discussion. So from last weekend, from rush hour, I was noticing there's not much that I can hit, and I was also noticing, hey, there's a lot of defenses out there that can be cleaved quickly. So I started to experiment with the raids over here and see how I was doing with the raids. So I'm going to show you guys some runs. I actually got my first triple S today, which was very nice. I'm hoping that after free rune removal today, I can get consistent S's. I'm at least hoping that my teams don't get messed up, because you guys know how free rune removal can go. Sometimes you just mess everything up and it's like, what the hell? Why did that happen? I thought things were supposed to get better, but they didn't. Everything just got worse. I have most of it already planned out. After I finish recording and editing this video, I'm going to work on free rune removal. And if I can get consistent S teams, I might make a separate video of it just to show you guys what my teams are, just to be like, hey, here are my teams. I know a lot of these aren't farmable and a lot of people don't have these monsters, but one thing that I can tell you guys is that if you go to the dungeon debate on here before you enter, you can see what other people are using, and a lot of people have really good recommendations, like really common monsters. A lot of people are using Hua and Tark and stuff like that, and Lisa, like monsters that you should kind of look out for. What I've been doing is I've kind of looked at some of those dungeon debates, and I've just basically been testing a lot of teams. For the Dark Beast, I've been trying to go a little bit safer with more multi-hits, and then I've been trying to go more YOLO, and then I just kind of stick with whatever team was working out the best, just a bunch of testing and trying to like watch these things and see what's going wrong. On this light one, we're going to notice after the third jump or whatever, after the third pass out or whatever the guy does, we're going to notice that the light beast is going to basically, my two frontliners are barely going to survive, so this free rune removal, I'm going to make them tankier, give them more defense, and I think I should be able to get consistent like triple S or double S or whatever, because I think my monsters on this stage do enough damage to get double S, because right now I'm just getting A pluses, so kind of weird how that jump happens, but it does. I believe you actually have to kill the beast to get an S. So we'll see right here. Be sure to pay attention to when my frontliners barely survive. Okay, so let's see. We might actually get an S here, but I'm not sure. The times that I get S is very rare compared to A+, I've been noticing. Okay, so now we have them barely surviving. Hopefully we can get a heal off before, yeah, okay, we got one heal off, and then I think they're gonna die here maybe. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, I think they're gonna survive. Okay, so she died right there. I think if she survived, she might have enough time to get another heal off. I don't know, maybe not actually. So everything's gonna die shortly here. Just have a little bit longer. And I'm pretty sure, even if I can only get A+ on this, I'm pretty sure it's still worth it to farm, rather than waiting around for it. There was some math that people put out there about when it's kind of efficient to farm this or whatever. So yeah, that was the light one. And then the dark one has been going about the same. I don't remember if I'm able to actually finish the dark one, but I guess I can show you all three of these. It's going to take a little while, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's interesting to you guys, and we can take a look at what's going wrong here. So I believe after free rune removal, I'm probably going to get rid of the panda and put in another damage dealer, maybe like Hua or something. I'm not totally sure. I was testing out more damage versus this sort of more multi-hit team, and even with this team, they can't do enough multi-hits to free the monster. Again, it's on the third jump thing that I have problems with, where they're just not quite fast enough to free it, or they will free it, but they won't free it fast enough to where it can actually get a turn. So I think we'll probably see that, you know, they're going to free the monster, but then something else gets taken right away, or the same monster gets taken right away. So I might have to check out those dungeon debates a little bit more and try to piece together a team to see if I have, like, a better team. Yeah, I'm still trying to be kind of efficient with my runes, and I'm not going too much out of my way to build anything that's too crazy just so I can do well in the Rift Beasts. I'm still making sure I do well in other places. Oh, we have another important thing to talk about after this one. I guess I'll do the water one after this, and then we'll talk about the other thing for free rune removal that's kind of important. It has to do with Dragon's B10. Shaolin, she's crazy. She just pops off with all that damage on her third skill. It's crazy. Tark, actually, for free rune removal, I think the rune order that I'm going to do is with DB10. I'll talk about that again. I guess I'll talk about it now and then repeat it later in case anyone's skipping through the video. But for DB10, I'm actually going to go back to my old team just because I don't like that 96% win rate. I feel like my team fails a lot. I did actually track it, and it was 96%. I don't like seeing any fails at all, especially because I'm not spending very much money. Like right now, I'm just buying daily pack 1s for $5 until Come To Us releases another really good package. I kind of thought about buying that one package recently that had some Devilmon and like a legendary scroll or something, but I kind of just let it go by and didn't buy it. So I feel like having any fails is probably not a good thing since I'm not spending very much money at all. So I'm going to go back to that safe team. So that kind of means that Tark can be a little bit lower in the priority order. So I believe I'm going to rune up Shaolin, then Hua, or maybe Hua first, then Shaolin. I think that's what I did. And then Tark after that. So I hope they still do well. Tark is really amazing for these, I've been noticing. Hey, it looks like we're going to finish. Yay! Interesting. I don't think they finished that much, though. Maybe they do. I forgot. So, yeah, that's the Dark Beast, and then we'll do the water one, and then talk about DB10. So, what do I have going on for the water one? Do I have anything? I don't remember. Okay, I have this going on. I don't exactly know. Oh, Chisun doesn't even have runes, does she? I think she does, but they're pretty bad. So, one last one. And then I think eventually people end up farming more of these for runes, for the craftable runes or whatever. But I think I only need to farm these 3 for my homunculus skill ups. So these are all that I'm showing you guys. A long time ago, I heard that Velajul is good for this one. I think YDCB made a video where he was using Velajul, and I have Velajul, but I'm not using him now for some reason. I think because I needed a healer. I also have 3 monsters that scale off speed. Tark, Lagmaron, and Theomars can benefit from the Bernard speed buff. So I think that's kind of why I have him over Velajul. And then the heal is kind of important. So we just have one more thing to talk about. Well, actually, I already talked about it, but the DB10 thing, and then we'll do the summons. So we're almost there. The video went slightly longer than I wanted. I wanted to keep it brief, but whatever. After this, I gotta get working on free rune removal. I'm excited to do my March rune video because I think a year ago, last March, was the first rune video that I did, so that's kind of exciting. I'm excited to do it, though, because I feel like a lot of my monsters are gonna get better and more organized and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to see. Right now it's a constant struggle to figure out how to rune everything up because I have so many monsters that are good for so many things, but some I just can't rune up that well because I need to put runes on other things, and it's been difficult, but I'm working through it. Okay, come on team, you can do it. Just a little bit more. So I think if, I'll have to look at the other beast, the dark one, to see how they're doing. The light one I know needs improvement, but I think if I give more damage to my monsters, they'll be able to finish out the light one, I'm hoping. And more tankiness, especially for the frontliners. I have a feeling they'll be able to do it. Right now I still have my Colleen on double revenge set, But some people were saying that not people, but generally everyone kind of agrees that I'm having a hard time talking now. Some people say that you can run your support monsters or healers on Violent for R5, like one of your healers. Right now I actually have only Lisa on Violent, my cleanser, but most people say that you can run one of your other ones, like one other healer on Violent, but I have both not on Violent, so even having Colleen on Violent, I don't know how good that is, but maybe I could do Violent Revenge or something, but I already have her build sorted out, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Okay, so last thing to talk about before we do the summons is my DB10 team. So this team is donezo, it's gone. We're going back to Vero, Bella, and then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Some people were saying Sig is good here, but I don't have any plans to rune up Sig, so I might actually try this one, or maybe even Shaolin instead of Megan. So I'm going back to this one just for the 100% success rate and scrapping that other one for now. So yeah, I ran it a lot and I didn't like how the 96% success rate was going, especially because I'm not spending that much money on the game. So that was it for Path to Decency episode 52 besides the summons. So let's go ahead and get into them. Here we go. We might have some lag here because the Wi-Fi is far away. First lightning, Nat 5, let's go. Holy fuck, are you kidding me? Oh my god, guys. Shit, I thought that was a fucking Nat 5. Oh my god, no it's not. Damn it, that looked like a Kumar or some shit. Fucking come to us. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, that was a nice feeling. I still feel good because I got that rush and that good feels from thinking that I got a Kumar, but I didn't. Okay, I'm dreaming of it right now, guys. Too bad. Fucking baited, mate. 8 out of 8. Great fucking bait. Okay, just a few more. Time to collect our garbage this week. Am I right or am I right? That's basically what these summoning sessions come down to about now. Gotta collect this garbaggio. Oh, a mummy that I don't need. That was a thing. Okay, what's the garbage this week? Bella. Here we go. Oh, the dark one? Is that the light one or the dark one? I can't tell. The light one. I already have the light one. Okay, so that was a little bit of a roller coaster. So I hope you guys enjoyed this summoning session and the video. I will catch you guys in my March rune video. Get ready, get pumped because I'm ready. I have all my builds ready. I still need to work on some. I will catch you guys later.